Hello everyone, today I'm setting out on a quest to prove a commenter wrong. And I don't always do this, but the way this comment was written really grinded my gears. It really triggered me. It spiked my cortisol, as the kids are saying nowadays. I'm going to show you guys the comment, and then I'm going to show you guys the game. And you have to stay to the very end, because I think I have successfully proved this guy wrong. But we're going to hop in, show you guys the comment right away. And he says, okay, Hera is crazy, lol. Bolas Rider is too good. It's maybe strong against knights, it is, but it is worthless against anything else. What? It's a counter unit. Spearmen are way too strong, they kill my knights so fast. The abusable charge attack has +2 damage and a non-existent slow. Abusable in quotations. None of the South American civs are good in in imp/late imp, and Bolas Rider falls off hard. I think Hera is overreacting. Now again, made some good points, but I don't like the tone he used, and I'm going to prove him wrong. Enjoy the game. Alright, hopping right in with the Mapuches here. We're going to take advantage of the Bolas Riders, of course. And I'm going to show you guys just how strong the unit can be. We're up against the 2P, and the funny thing is the 2P is actually not a civ that dies to the Bolas Riders very often. Like, the Bolas Rider is not really meant to be good against something like the 2P. But I'm pretty sure the unit is so strong that it's going to feel really strong no matter what happens. Or no matter what civ I'm up against. And of course, we did see the comments, and you know, fair play. You know, we respect the different opinions here, but I'm pretty confident in my opinion that the Bolas Rider is insanely strong of a unit, and I'm going to put that to the test right now up against the Babaroom. Now, of course, it is a unit that specializes against cavalry, no doubt. It does have the +2 attack versus all units cavalry, but I think the slow charge or the slow charge attack, or the charge attack that has a slow. On top of the fact that it's a fast unit without needing husbandry, without needing bloodlines, makes it for a really strong early cast stage option. So I'm going to show you guys how I would personally use the Bolas Riders. And up against the 2P, like I said, it's not exactly the best civ to use the Bolas Riders against, but I'm going to showcase them anyways. Start with a strong early game. Going to go over here with a settlement. I'm not sure if I should make it... I don't think it's possible to make one that also takes the berries while being efficient for the wood. So I'll just make one that is on the wood, and then make a separate one on this side for the berries to get really good farming spread on those settlements. And we're going to open with some Champion Riders, sorry, not Champion Riders, Champion Warriors as the early initial play. And then we'll switch into Bolas Riders, or maybe even some Skirmishers as the game goes on later on. It just depends on the situation, of course. But a champion opening, especially with the Mapuches to get extra HP, seems like a pretty reasonable approach. Now, the Mapuches in general are a really good civilization. No doubt, but it's not a civilization that necessarily... Hold on, we gotta take care of these guys. There we go. It's not a civilization that necessarily has like one set in stone playstyle. I actually think they have really good options. Like the Bolas Rider is a really good option to counter cavalry civs. The Champion Warrior is a really strong playstyle for just like generic early game. And then you have the Spearman and Skirmisher setup that could really counter some of those civilizations that rely on like archers in the early game, because just making scrims from a settlement sounds like a pretty good counter to me. And it is worth mentioning that I think that the civ is way better against civilizations that don't have the champion scout available. Alright, continue luring in the deer. He sends me that sheep that he stole back, which is very kind of him. Thank you, Babaroom. Alright, we're going to continue going here with the early game development. Second settlement is needed at some point, but not for now. Cool thing about this civ is that settlement counts for both buildings, rather. There's one building that counts for both to click up the feudal age. Which is what leads me to think that just having a settlement is always going to be a net good thing for the civ. I have to send my scout over there just in case. There we go. I guess one thing I could do is just wall this villager in, just to make sure there's no potential cheese or anything like that that can come through. But yeah, the Bolas Rider is absolutely insane, and I really hope I can showcase it this game. I'll take the 50-50 here. I mean, you know, it's probably not the right call, actually, because I haven't scouted his base, so that 50-50 is better for him to take. So instead of taking it, I'm going to be a little bit more of a calm, cool, and collected player, and I'm going to go ahead and just scout my opponent's base and give up the dealer. Next villager will go up straight to the front. He'll make a barracks, and then I'll get one more vill, then loom, and then I'll be up to the next stage. So 19 vills looming up. And like I said, tons of options with the Mapuche. It's actually a really strong civilization, but the focus for this video is going to be the Bolas Rider. And the way to actually set up the Bolas Rider is to play as little in feudal age as possible. That's my opinion, because the point of the Bolas Rider is just how fast it comes out with such amazing stats. And the fact that it doesn't really need any, like, upgrade. Like, the Crossbowman needs an upgrade, for example, whereas the Bolas Rider does not. So that's, I think, the main draw for the Bolas Rider being so good. Alright, so we'll start with a couple Champion Warriors in Dark Age here as we lead up into Feudal Age. He could go for an extended Dark Age, by the way. I have to be mindful of this. So that's why I never skip Loom against any Civ that has a Champion Warrior. And I think this is my gold, so I assume that's going to be my, my side of things. Go with a settlement here. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, it's still the same Champion Scout that he had earlier. He knows this is a new one that I made, though. Cool. I'll get a couple more bills on gold. So again, the main idea is that we want to do a small amount of Feudal Age army as possible to then go up to the next age and be perfectly fine with the Bolas Rider. So a couple of Champion Warriors on the field. He's also going for his own. I have the settlement follow up as well with skirmishers if needed. Which I think is like the main way to open with the Civ. Just go for like the Champion Warriors early game. If your opponent makes some archers, you have the skirms in the settlement. No need to overthink it. You can also mix in 1 or 2 spears if you're up against a Scout Civ, which is really strong, by the way. Like going Champion Warriors from your barracks and then, settlements can start making some spears. That's really nice. Good way to play. I'll fight right as Feudal Age is hitting so I can actually get the extra HP on my units. And I've got a little bit too many on wood, but it's the cool thing about having the settlements. I can actually adapt that. Even take some deer. And on new patch, we definitely do not need to pick up Horse Collar nice and early like we used to. Champion Runner is the thing that should come out next, but I could also pick up, not this one. Nice. Could also pick up the Bit Axe. I don't really want to fight here. I'm just kind of running around, poking and chilling for now. Yeah, too many on wood, I realized. You really don't need this much wood with this Civ. You don't really need a follow-up range or anything like that, so I could definitely see myself doing a better build than what I have currently. Go ahead and pressure the villagers. And again, we want to do as little as we possibly can in early game. So just a little bit of pressure, and then we'll more or less just go straight into the Bolas Rider and Castle Age. And you could do extra Champion Warriors in Dark Age and then go for a fast castle, but you're not really using your Mapuche bonus of getting the extra HP in that case. So while that could work against some like non-champion Civ, against the 2P, that's not really a good idea. It's better to go Feudal Age and get the extra 5 HP on your units. That's kind of like my advantage. I'll run past this town set. I don't really want to fight it. And I'll pick up the Champion Runner. I also could consider myself a little bit behind in numbers, so maybe a second barracks could be reasonable. I'm going to go back with my units, because I think I'm now going to be in some trouble here. Considering a second barracks, but for now I think I'm just going to wall this up. So if he does come swinging, I'll be able to dodge that. And he came straight to the deer bills, which is really bad for me. Gotta defend some other way. My goodness, even Viper doesn't hit that. It's hilarious. I failed it after all. Yeah, we have to defend with our units here. Make some skirmishers as well. We lost a couple bills. It's not the end of the world, though. It doesn't have any upgrades, but I'm actually losing just kind of behind in numbers from the early game. That's something I have to watch out for with the champions. It's all about keeping the numbers high. Skirmishers to deny the archers. And it's almost better that I'm behind in the early game, just to show that the potential comeback from the Bolas Rider is solid. Again, I'm not testing this unit like I know it's going to be good. We're just kind of like trying it out here, but testing the theory, you know. I think the theory is that the unit is really strong, and I'm going to put that to the test right now. And losing out of the early game is actually putting it to a better test than if I would be winning from the early game. Okay, here we go. I have skirmishers for his archers. And again, I didn't need a range for that, which is all the better. I do need a blacksmith, though, at some point. Oh, we can garrison the settlement. That's cool. I have to remember what the civs are doing. Alright, blacksmith for me now. He's also got his fletching in here. So I gotta watch out. Let's keep making some champions. I'm getting kind of baited into a longer feudal age, which is not really what I intended, but it's fine. It's not the biggest of deals. If I have to go for it anyways. So it's no problem. Fighting on the hill seems pretty good. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, that's nice. That's a good fight. I can clear this all up. And as soon as I get the clear up, I'm going to actually cancel all my units. So again, I do think I want a faster castle age with the Bolas Rider. I think that's where it really shines. That's why I think like a Drush fast castle with the champions can be amazing. But, you know, going feudal age to take advantage of the extra HP is not bad as well. This build could have been a lot better, but overall, I'm surviving, which is what matters. And like I said, I think being behind is actually going to put this unit to the test. Let's go from a market to just try to buy my way up. We want to fight so that I can go up to the next stage. And okay, all is said and done. This is a pretty solid, somewhat successful feudal age. And so with the market, I can probably sell my stone and then just go right up to the next stage. I'll keep the skirmishes that I do have on the field to prevent them from just going crossbowmen. And that's going to pretty much just bait him into going champions. Although I think going champions is really good right now, so I don't think I'm twisting my arm to, force him into champions. I think he's more or less happy to do that. I can pressure in here a little bit, penetrating against those archers. Yeah, it's like the main idea is to get him off crossbow into the champion. And then the Bolas Rider can take over from there. So let's get armor on the skirms because I'm going to need that. I need to start getting ranges down on the map as well. And I probably need more wood. Because again, you don't need any food for the Bolas Rider, which is why it's like a cav archer, which is why like cav archers in general are always really good. But specifically this one is really good just because it's so fast out the gate. You don't even need bloodlines. You don't need husbandry. You just get like a really strong unit straight out the gate. And again, I think that's really, really OP. So let's go ahead and set up the ranges while getting extra villagers onto wood. Let's try to do a little bit of a better job developing or setting up my economy, let's say. I'm going to go for 3 ranges because I want to showcase this unit. And again, I don't need any food. I just need to afford Bodkin Arrow, maybe the second armor upgrade. That's it. Otherwise, no other food needed. Why aren't you guys working on the wood? It's a bit of a glitch. All right, cool. All right, so I lost 2 bills. I had a pretty, like, at best, even early game. At best. I'm up against another guy who's considered a pro player. Or, or as close as it gets to a pro player, let's say. Maybe he's a step beneath, pro, but, I would consider him a pro player personally. Probably the number 2 best French player. Oh, let's see some archers. So it's definitely a good test for the Bolas Riders. Are they good? Or is it all a bunch of baloney and I've overhyped them completely? Let's test them. So Bodkin Arrow right away. Bolas Riders coming out. Let's go for the fast ballistics. I'm going to treat them exactly like I treat any cav archer type unit. And again, they are anti-cavalry. So don't expect them to be the greatest unit against something that's not a cavalry. That being said, I still hold the opinion that they are really, really strong against everything. So let's put them to the test here. And let's see what I can do. So stats 5+4 with the charge attack. And then obviously without the charge attack, only 5+2. And whatever army I have here, continue massing them. So again, they move fast. They can take out enemy units. Let me see if I can get a quick wall here. No, I can't. So I do 2 damage to the champion warriors. But I have the mobility advantage quite clearly, right? And I get that charge attack, which is, I think, quite reasonable as well. And the comment said that the charge attack is not noticeable at all, but I'm pretty sure it's super noticeable if you're kiting correctly. Like, once I get past this early game, or this early castle, let's say, get ballistics here. Again, treating them like I would a CA. It should be quite noticeable. Like, the extra damage, at least, is really good. Okay, this is where you can get kind of overwhelmed a little bit. There we go. And once ballistics comes in, I think the momentum goes back to my side. But even still, it's not even that bad, actually. Think of this like Cav Archers versus Eagles, by the way. This is how I think of this matchup. But this is like a better version of the Eagle, and this is a better version of the Cav Archers. Okay, let's develop. And it's the kind of thing where once I get a critical mass, I don't think he's going to be able to fight me ever again, honestly. And again, normal Cav Archers, I would need Bloodlines, Husbandry, all of these techs that are like hard to afford when you're going for like an all-in. Now I don't need them. That's the strong part of this unit, right? Chase him down. I got the charge attack as well. I don't know how good the slow is, to be fair. That's one thing that I have a question mark on. But even just the extra damage, like I said, is pretty reasonable. All right. So, okay. We cleared up the initial pressure. And now it's all Bolas Riders. Okay, let's see how good the unit is. So we defended nice and easy. Did lose some villagers. I can really feel the slow, by the way. Dude, it's not bad at all. It's a really good unit. It's a really good unit. It's exactly what I thought would be the case. I'm able to get so much control of the game. And the slow, you can really feel it, but you have to hit all of his units. It's a bit of a tricky thing to get done. I can add some economy behind this. He's going to go for some skirmishers now to counterplay me. But how I want to use the Bolas Rider here is I want to avoid the skirm as much as I can. Or mix in some siege. Actually, mixing in some siege would be amazing. Because this unit, the Bolas Rider will beat everything except the skirmisher, right? Again, I'm just on 4 farms getting all of this done. Alright, let's go for my double siege burst trap push. Still got tons of mobility. Oh, I love this unit. It's actually amazing. Oh my goodness. I just question if a Cav Archer would do the same thing. But I'm not, like, the attack rate seems to be faster than a Cav Archer. You don't need the upgrades from the stable. It just comes out the gate with, like, really good stats. And is it cheaper than a Cav Archer? It's cheaper than a Cav Archer as well. There's almost no way this is not, like... I'm not going to say broken, but it's not a strong unit. There's no way it's not a strong unit. I'm going to go double workshop here to counter the skirms. We're still all inning, so I have to be somewhat careful that I you know, end the game. I'm able to get some good damage in. But yeah, again, like, getting raided does very little to me. Now I'm going to go for some mangonels. And again, imagine if I was playing against cavalry, you know? The unit would just only be better. But even as such, I'm super happy with it. It's an amazing unit. Alright, let's start breaking his buildings. Again, continue using that mobility. As you would a Cav Archer, but again, it just feels smooth. Oh my goodness. You can always run around skirms, so just don't fight skirms. Because you are weak to skirms. You have only the 5 attack. He's got ballistics here, so I have to respect these a little bit more than usual. But yeah, I got the double siege workshop push to follow this up. Oh, but the charge attack can kill 1 or 2 skirms nice and easy, actually. Yeah, okay, because you have the charge attack. You actually kill... It's even better than a Cav Archer against skirms because you got that charge attack that comes in every now and then, dealing massive damage. And the cool thing is when you have a big crowd of them, not every shot on the first volley will be a charge attack from every unit. So on every volley, I have like some charge attack, if that makes sense. Alright, we're breaking in now to my opponent's base. And again, it's so cheap and easy to spam that it's going to be overwhelming for my opponent real quick. And the GG's called. I mean, that is a good display of the Bolas Rider. And I'm going to say that the reason why the commenter didn't see the power of the Bolas Rider, but I did, all right, is because the reason why it's good is not obvious to the naked eye of a casual player, and that's just the fact, right? Looking at it with the naked eye, I compare it with a fully upgraded Cav Archer, and I'm like, okay, it's missing 1 attack, it's missing 15 HP, it's probably not that good of a unit. But when you look at it through another lens, you see, okay, it's got an extra Pierce Armor, so right away it's going to be a little bit tankier against something like the crossbow. You don't need Bloodlines, you don't need Husbandry. It comes out the gate pretty strong, like actually really strong. You have that charge attack that puts you at 5+4 attack, which is really, really good when you consider something like the Skirmisher. With that extra 2 attack from the charge, it's net damage. So the Skirmisher can go up to 4+2 armor, so it's going to be 6 Pierce Armor. So naturally, you're only dealing 1 damage, but with the charge attack, you deal 3 damage. The Cav Archer does consistent 2 damage. So for hitting and running, it's better against Skirmishers than the Cav Archer. And then on top of that, it's also cheaper by a few resources, something like 10 or 15 apiece. So with all of those factors in consideration, the Bolas Rider is clearly better than a Cav Archer. It's very strong out the gates. And despite having a very weak early game, according to my standards at least, my build was off, I lost 2 villagers, I wasn't really doing anything offensive. I was able to pull it all back with the Bolas Riders and Castle Age. And this is exactly how I'd play the strategy. I'd play it as some form of all-in, because that's how the Cav Archers do the best, is going for the all-in. And especially with the Mapuches, let me just, drill this home. You do get the Elite Bolas Rider, which could be good for late game, but you don't get Bracer. So I think this unit is a mid-game beast. It's a mid-game masterpiece, all right? And that's how you want to use it. The Mapuches already don't really have the best late game, so you want to really overwhelm your opponent in the mid-game and not the late game, sorry. They don't have a good late game. They have a good mid-game, though. And that's where the Bolas Rider really shines. So yeah, hopefully this video shows the Bolas Rider in a decent light. And again, I didn't play 10 games and pick the best one and then bring the best one where my opponent was going cavalry. I had a perfect map. I took no damage and then brought out the Bolas Rider and it looked like a hero. I legit, just the first game, you can check my account. It's the first game, loaded up with Mapuche, played against 2P, one of the best civs in the game, and just ran the Bolas Rider. And it was amazing. And it was perfect. And it's even better against cavalry, because correct me if I'm wrong, but it has +2 attack against cavalry on top of the charge attack and on top of the decent stats that it has. So with all that said, I hope the guy who commented can comment again that he was wrong and that I was right. And again, I'm not usually this petty, but this comment specifically got to me. It was the way it was worded that I just knew I got a dunk on this guy. And the Bolas Rider are indeed a very, very good unit. Though I will say, credit to the commenter, probably not overpowered. It's probably just a really good unit. I'm not going to call for any nerfs right off the bat. We need more testing. Maybe I'd be wrong if people start finding the right counters to it or something like that. But my take is it's going to remain as a really good unit as is. It just feels so smooth to micro, and it's just a solid unit overall. Creates a really nice early castle power spike for the Mapuches. And again, opponent is 2,500 ELO, so solid opponent. He had a good Veal lead, but once the Bolas Riders get going, once you get that mass, there's not really any unit that can fight it besides the Elite Skirm. And even the Elite Skirm has its limitations. But anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.